I hold my child in a burning wasteland. Glass eyes leak memes and Diet Coke, which is the worst kind of Coke. I'd scream if I had the energy. I tried it once in another life, and my mouth spewed oil instead of fear till I flooded the town, killing us all. Mother Void sent me back with microchips for teeth to teach me a lesson in right speech. In these Gridlands, no one is safe. Silver stalks every movement, and I can't remember where I left my keys, or wallet, or heart, or snapper, or charger. I consider asking Siri for assistance, but she's Irish and as drunk as me. Instead, I play Step on a Crack, Marry a Rat as I search for God in strangers' faces at badly lit house parties, wishing I didn't know we're now closer to 2050 than 1990. Siri, can you delete facts? What's the data trail on this? Time is just a concept, I whisper to my baby in the dark, but the growing bunker between my eyebrows suggests, no girl, drink more water. From the ice caps? From the river? Siri is not sure she understands. Do the box step now to soothe the child. It cries and dial up, and I trip up on an ill-considered laptop cable to fall to my death on a jungle floor where my body becomes compost for dual-toned animatronic beetles till I'm only bones or grid wires, exposed and sparking the kind of current you shouldn't eat. In the next life, I hope for less.
Aro Valley. I want to take your picture, the silver blue mist moving over the pine trees, the Edwardian houses running backwards up the hillside, the road running slower than myself, the sky a kind of silver screen, the moon is out tonight, a neon TV, a notice board, the buttery light melting out of the chip shop and into the indigo air, the weeds tripping up the fences, the flowers tripping up the weeds, the night about to settle in for the night, but pausing before it closes the door. Relax, I think you look just wonderful. I imagine you can tell. I want to take your picture.
Always, when you go, I discover something new in the hole you live. A new way to say tree, sea, bird, the ground I tread, my feet, the notebook of the girl who is off to school, a bridge that links two countries, a wall that separates them, this blue sky, that bicycle racing downhill, an empty fridge, your hair. Always when you go, I discover something new in the hole you live. But without you, it is no use to me.
Where do big cranes go when they are not being cranes? In other words, when they are not being used to build big buildings, are there bigger buildings built for them to be? Where do they live? Where do scooters go when they get distressed, leaning, abandoned on the waterfront, screaming from being touched but not committed to? Eventually a dark van comes, they are tossed in the back and taken away. Where do my food scraps go when, in the dead of night, I dump them in the compost bin at the Z station on Gusney Street? And are the security cameras proud of me? Where have all my notifications gone, little red stimuli? I am an internet rat waiting for a shock or a treat. But there's nothing, not even a hacked friend trying to sell me Ray-Bans. Where did my notebook go, and the pen I acquired from work the other day, and a hair tie I swear was around my wrist, and the meds that I always keep in my wallet, and my keys, and my ability to set smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals? Oh well, guess I'm stuck in my flat forever. Where did all the punctuation go? First telegrams were full of them, like little handshakes, amiable agreements on when sentences ended. Then there were so many exclamation points, once reserved for yelling, then used to make emails sound neutrally warm like a tired high five, and now Quietly, as if overnight, my phone inbox is filled with unfinished statements, and I don't know if we agree or if we are just shaking our fists at each other. Where did words go? The ones that slipped out of my mouth earlier. I make the same shapes as before, but they're hiding. Are they under the bed, covered in dust I forgot to vacuum up? Maybe in your lashes, sleep talk caught in your eyes. It's always in the last place you look. Where has everyone else gone? The bus to Brooklyn is weirdly empty. Last week it was impossible to find a seat. Now, as we wind round the hills, even the bus driver disappears. Gone on a break, I guess, and so are the brakes. Can't slow this bus down, oh no. So we fly past the bays and the valleys, straight off a cliff. And as we soar over the rubbish tip towards the sea, beneath the wheels, a field of cranes waves.
Yellow-lidded black sentinels stand to attention along both sides of the parade. Some, half empty, pushed curbside by the fastidious, unaware how pointless that seems to those less concerned with what their neighbours might think about their own overflowing, lids askew, crammed to the gunwales sentinels. Often they are accompanied by short, embarrassed, chubby buddies who hide in their midst half-consumed tins of spaghetti, expired yogurt bottles and takeaways that should have been emptied, contents composted, then washed, not squashed, and recycled responsibly. They lean on each other lazily. An air of shame hangs about them. Here and there, unmasked communities of equally chubby buddies congregate, awaiting the gruff-handedness of their deliverer, their wiry-muscled, singleted, stubby-wearing saviour, prepared for ascension, eager to arise and leave this mortal plane with its harsh ingratitude far behind, suffering no longer the indignities and brash disregard for their well-being. Never again will they be left sweltering beneath ozone-bereft sunshine, or anxious about the threat to their equilibrium from the wild Wellington winds and sideways rain. Sat there, self-consciously overstuffed, yet excited. A shimmer of expectation vibrates along the parade, and one of them accidentally pops out a crumpled tissue, which is caught and delivered to the lower branches of a bush at the playground by a fierce nor'wester. It is time. One by one they do meet their maker. A whiff of exhaust precedes a firm grasp. Launched, rising, sailing through the air, free. Only to be consumed into an infernal melee of the broken-hearted, the damaged, bewildered, and the betrayed. Discontented contents spilled, churned, and made one. A tragic union of uncomposted onion skins, chip packets, and used kitty litter. And one by one, along both sides of the parade, the realization hits hard that it's Thursday morning. It's plain old rubbish day purgatory. The ascension was on Wednesday.
There's a very strange taste to disappointment. It's like you're about to eat your favourite thing, expecting a great flavour, and it just sits blandly behind your teeth, needing salt or sugar or something. Disappointment tastes like what's best served hot be tepid. It tastes like biting into a jam donut, and there be some jam, but not enough to ooze down your chin. Ingredients in a mouthful of letdown. Well, few core components are missing. The rest is just drowned in a lackluster liquid. Forget baking soda, it is not sure to rise. Disappointment tastes like the floury apple, the soft cracker or biscuit. It's the controversial lolly bag with controversial only milk bottles remaining. It's the expected pain but getting nothing after eating one of those sour chews. It's you, as you decide to get the burger and your mate gets the fish, and then you really wish you'd gotten the fish now because your lettuce is brown and they left out your mayo. Disappointment tastes like ordering takeaway coffee with sugar and they forget the sugar. Well, that's undrinkable. It's the air in a big bought bag of chips. It's sushi without soy sauce, lumpy gravy, hard avo, no extra anything. Disappointment tastes like coming home to discover your flatmate ate insert item here. Disappointment is where flavour doesn't live. It's popping your eggs and having no runny yolk. No joke, that's why we get eggs Benny. Disappointment tastes like drinking a cup of hot shame that is hard to swallow. Hard to swallow. Swallow hard. Digest that pride. Hard swallow. Inside disappointment feels like bursting to wee, but only a little dribble comes out. It's the cold sheen after a hot sweat as you get a text from your ex saying that they've moved on. Oh, hopes of reignited love, gone. Disappointment feels like a damp sock. Or when you see something at a shop and its texture looks as though it could be soft, kind of squishy, almost smudgy, but it's not, it's rough. That's tough. Disappointment feels like an electric blanket that should have been on 3, only be on 1. On a freezing stormy night, it feels like the end of a bath when you've run out of hot water. Disappointment feels like the heat that comes from the reddened cheeks of a telling off for the last time. Disappointment feels heavy, too tight, too loose, misshapen, ill-fitting. You are sitting inside a setback, a downfall, a blow, go deeper into darkness. It feels harder and hurts to wear. Here, disappointment sounds like the beat in the place after the bass didn't drop like an unsatisfying pop of a bubble on bubble wrap. All ear, no snap. Disappointment, that sigh after being mansplained as to why that particular point was incorrect. Disappointment, the sound you get as your lungs got told of your score. Disappointment, that sore point in conversation. The, oh, I'm so sorry, that at least you tried. Disappointment disguised and covered with those, oh, yeah, no, don't worry about it. It's with those, it's okay, it's with those, I'm fine. Disappointment sounds like, we had an incredible intake of potential candidates for this position. On this occasion, you were unsuck, suck, sniff, 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 blow. Disappointment smells like a gym bag full of game gear of last season's defeat. It smells like not neutrally deodorized feet. Disappointment smells like suspicious substance on someone in sobriety. It smells like a variety of mispleased, ill-fitting, and uncorked wine. Disappointment smells like being on a fragrant garden tour and only picking up the scent of mint. Disappointment stinks of second, of not quite. And I can see how that sounds harsh. Disappointment looks like a misspelled name on a birthday cake. It appears like the overripened, undecided piece of fruit. Disappointment looks like that, look like that, look like that quiet look that says, I have let down her, him, them, silent, but crushing. Disappointment looks like morning tea of your last day at a company that you've worked with for years. Poorly attended, obligatory card and gift voucher, and jam donuts that have got some jam, just not enough to ooze down the chin.